I really hope Jesmonite is quite a forgiving material because I'm just really putting it through its paces. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Last year I reviewed a little craft kit using Jesmonite and I had a lot of fun, although I found the craft kit to be a little bit limiting as to what you can obviously do with it. So I bought my own Jesmonite and today I'm going to make my own Jesmonite crafts and hopefully it's going to go alright. Okay, the first thing I want to make is a crushed glass kind of stool or side table depending how it turns out. But I'm going to have to actually make it on the studio floor, so I thought I would mix up my Jesmonite first and show you how that works, if I know how to do it. So Jesmonite is a very similar thing to plaster of Paris. So you've got this, which is a powder, and then you mix it with a liquid. And there are also specific ratios with this stuff. So I'm gonna have to weigh it out and do some maths. Who enjoys maths? Not me. So according to this, I need 2.5 of the powder against 1 of the liquid. And that's by weight. Right, okay, so I wanna know how much a full cup of this weighs. Don't spill it everywhere, please. It's going everywhere. Doesn't look like drugs at all, does it? That's 420 grams. Oh, this is gonna be a pain in the arse. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark on the cup where the level is, and then I know for the next time, because I think I'm going to go for 3 powders and 3 liquids. I think that'll be enough to make this stool. So if that's 2.5, that's 25%. 20%. 20%? I think it's 20%. 20% of 420, 84. So I would need 84 grams of the liquid times by 2.5. That's not right. No, that gives us 210. What about 84 times 2? 168 times that. Hang on. Add 168, add 84. Yes, that's right. So I would need 168 grams of liquid. Did that make sense, everyone? It made sense in my brain. So I'm going to pour it into this bucket. If I end up needing more, then I can just add more. It's not the end of the world. I'm getting this absolutely everywhere, aren't I? Okay, in it goes. One more. Bollocks. I make things look easy, don't I? Right, okay. And that one in there. And then I'll do the same with the liquid and mix that, but I need to move on to the stool and get that prepared first, and then mix my liquid in, and then we'll pour it in. So I'll move over to the studio floor, and you can see what I'm up to. Okay, so I've got a plastic bucket here, and my idea is to put these wooden broom handles kind of in here like this, and then that'll make my stool / end table, depending on how it turns out. But I want to add some crushed glass first, and it's just all different colours, and I think it's going to look really fun. Okay, so I just want a thin layer of this glass, just enough so I can rest these and they won't move anywhere. Okay, so I got my liquid weighed out, and obviously I need 3 of these for my 3 mixtures I put in. But I'm doing it on here because I have to be quite quick because I don't want it to set in the bucket and then I can't pour it into here. And mix. And I think you want to aim for a very smooth mixture. You want to try and get all these lumps out. Obviously you can't see it because I forgot to set up a second camera. So you're just gonna have to guess what it looks like. It's a powder and a water. Okay, if it turns out good, it's supposed to look like that. If it doesn't, then don't mix it like that. Pour it straight on. The legs are moving everywhere. I really need some more hands. I feel like I've been too ambitious with this project. I think that might be enough. In fact, I think it will be enough. I think I just need a bit more glass. If this turns out good, it's a complete fluke and a complete miracle. Because I don't feel like it's going very well. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it like that and just say a little prayer. It's not looking too bad, but it is just, I don't know. It looks cool. If it works, I think it's going to be great. But that's a very big if. Okay, so moving on to the next Jesmonite craft project. And I have just spent hours, well not hours, but I've spent a long time trying to figure out the measurements again for these smaller ones. Why can't they design things so that it's a mix ratio of 2 to 1? That's easy for everyone to understand. 2.5 to 1, it's too hard. I can't do it. It's getting late as well, so my brain's just like... But anyway, this one is going to be a much easier craft project than that last one. I bought this silicone mould online, and it's actually a little plant pot mould. Look at that, cute. and I thought I would do a stripy but kind of marbled, hopefully something Jesmonite plant pot. So with Jesmonite you can actually colour it. So I've got some yellow colouring, some green, some blue, and then I'm just going to leave one just kind of white, the normal colour of it. And on here it says a maximum addition rate of 2%. Okay, I've done the 1 to 2.5 and now you're expecting us to understand what 2% of all of that is. Not happening. So I'm just going to add a few drops and hope for the best, because I can't, my head will explode. Actually, I'll do liquid first, and then I'll mix the colour in, and then I'll mix the powder in. I feel like a scientist, a very shit scientist. That looks like 2%. Oops, that was too much. I just feel like I'm really rushing, and that stresses us out. I don't know what the work time is, but I'm pretty sure I remember from the last craft kit that you had to be quick, and I just don't want to take any chances. I feel like it's firming up already. Shit the bed. If it's a little bit lumpy, it's going to have to be a little bit lumpy because I'm panicking. Okay, now take a deep breath. Right, time for the fun part and the less stressful part, which is just pouring your colours into here. And I don't really want it to be kind of too stripy, but I'm also not bothered if it does end up being too stripy. I'm actually not bothered how this turns out as long as it sets. Okay, when that does set, I think I'm going to call that Ants Panic Plant Pot, because it freaked us out. But now I have a good indication of the work time with this, and you don't get a lot of time. Okay, so for this next Jesmonite craft project, I thought I'd make a really nice tea tray, and it does have handles with this kit, so once this is set, I'm gonna have to drill through it, and I hope it'll be okay. So I've got my liquid and my powder already measured up, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna mix it into this bucket, but I'm just going to take my time and chill out. So I want this tea tray to be quite opulent and fancy. So I'm going to use a combination of silver leaf, gold leaf and brass leaf. I'll put that in first, then I'll mix that in, and then we'll go from there and see what's happening. We can probably put these in full and they'll just rip apart when we're mixing. Okay, I think that's enough silver. I don't know how many I've put in. Obviously, other people would just stick to one colour and just go for gold leaf or silver leaf or brass leaf. But I wanted to do all of them because I think it'll look nicer. If it looks like what it does in my head, it's going to look fantastic. That should be enough, and we should be able to see them through the Jesmonite, I hope. Right, time to mix our powder and liquid in. I don't think this is going to look very good. The gold leaf and stuff, it's kind of lost its shine in amongst there. It might work, it might surprise us, but I don't know. I feel like this entire video is just going to be a mystery until the end. Okay, I think that'll be good to go. Now, take our silicone mould, just pour it in. I don't think I've made enough, have I? Let's spread this out a bit. I wanted it right to the top. Quickly mix some more. Okay, I've whipped up a very, very quick batch, and I'm just going to pour it on top while hopefully it's still wet, and hope it doesn't ruin it. Come on. Have I ruined it? Have I ruined it? Have I ruined it? Right, let's just spread that out and fingers crossed. I really hope Jesmonite is quite a forgiving material because I'm just really putting it through its paces. I feel better about that, I think. Okay, so the next craft project I thought I would do is a Jesmonite cake stand. Forgot the name of it. So I've got 3 different molds here, and I've got kind of a plan of what I'm doing. So I want to mix some Jesmonite up with the colours first. Right, we'll take it step at a time. That's what I'm going to do first, because otherwise I'll get carried away. I'll do one colour at a time, so then I'm not rushing. Go for a yellow. Imagine if I'd gone to all this effort and none of these crafts worked. Wouldn't be the first time that's happened, to be fair. So what I want to do is just kind of do like a polka dot stripy pattern on the surface of this in colours, but then I'm going to pour some regular uncoloured Jesmonite over the top of it just to see what happens. Looks a bit like mustard. What do I want to do on this one? I kind of do big sections like colour blocking. I'm the messiest worker ever. I've got this stuff all over. Okay, another colour. I think the pigments definitely affect the Jesmonite though, because the yellow seems to thicken it up quicker, and the blue and the green seems to make it more thin. Just one little observation I've had. I feel like things are going okay. Surprise, surprise. Okay, and time for some green. Yeah, I definitely don't think I need a layer of more Jesmonite on top of that one. Just these two. I think that one's alright. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. It's all the Jesmonite I've been snorting. Unintentionally, might I add, not on purpose. Right, okay, it's just time to pour some regular Jesmonite onto these two, and just be careful I don't go over the top. My nose is running. Better go catch it. Right, I think that'll do actually. I don't want to go too crazy with it. This has been a long couple of hours of doing stuff. So I'm going to leave all of this to set. I'll probably meet you back in a week because I work. And then we'll demold everything, we'll assemble stuff if we can, if it's worked. My confidence level at the moment is about a 60%. I'm not very optimistic, I'm really not, but time will tell. Well, I'm back, and surprisingly, I'm pretty sure all of these Jesmonite things have actually set. So I'm very pleased with myself. I don't know what they're going to look like, but the fact that they've set makes me happy. So I thought I would demold the plant pot first. Lovely and hard, rock solid. Let's just hope the inside looks as good. Oh yeah. Like some of these bits probably need sanding off along the side. I think that's looking so cool. Like, I hope you can see all the details and all the colours on that on camera, because in person it looks so nice. I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. I would put a plant in it, but it would die, so I'm not going to. One down, another 3 to go. Okay, time for the cake stand. And again, it's all completely solid. Oh, look at that. That looks so cool. And the thing is, you could have it different ways, I suppose. Ooh, that's really nice and smooth. Oh, that feels nice. That feels really nice, actually. It's got kind of like a silky smooth texture to it, which you won't be able to feel, but I'm enjoying it. Anyway. Second one. Lovely. These are looking so good. I've impressed myself. And then the little tiny one. Oh, that looks really nice as well. Okay, but now I need to assemble it. And unfortunately, the kit that I bought didn't have any instructions, so I hope this goes okay. And there we have it, a Jesmonite cake stand. I did have some leftover bits. I think these were supposed to go in between, but I forgot to put them in. But I think that looks super cool. Yeah, it's obviously not going to be to everyone's taste because it's a lot. And also, I don't think the brass traditional hardware goes with the very unusual colours. But it works. I could put cake on that. Not that I have any cakes. And then serve it. Does anyone want to come round mine for a tea party? I'll make something. It'll be unedible. Okay, now it's time for my tea tray, and we'll see how this has turned out. I don't think this is going to look very good. I'll say that straight away. It looks interesting. It doesn't look like what I had in my head at all. It doesn't look like I've put gold leaf, silver leaf and brass leaf in there. It looks like I've put grass in there. Like, it's gone kind of like a greeny, speckledy colour. What I should have done in hindsight is put the leaf kind of like in the bottom of the mould and then poured the Jesmonite in instead of mixing it into the Jesmonite. I think that would have worked better. But you know, lessons learned. I know for next time. Right now, I want to see if I can drill through Jesmonite so I can put these handles on. And I was thinking about measuring where everything goes, but I honestly, I can't be bothered. I'll get it wrong anyway. I think that looks kind of centered, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks alright. I think I can get away with that. It's fine. I'm just going to put it on a bit of cardboard because then it'll cushion it a little bit. Yes, you can drill through it. I just took it very slow and steady because I don't know how fragile this actually is. I just hope my holes are spaced out properly. Okay, that was actually quite easy. Oh, that's a horrible sound. I was so close, I was just a tiny bit off, and now it doesn't fit. That's why you measure things, everyone. I was way more off with that one. You can see the hole. That's what happens when you try and take shortcuts, but never mind. There's my little tea tray, and I still think it's turned out quite good, and it's still usable. It's just... we have two wobbly handles. But now, if you come round mine for a tea party, I'll have cakes on my cake stand and tea on my tea tray. Hopefully I won't spill any. But I still like it. From a distance, you just can't tell. Okay, now it's time for the one I was worried about the most, and it's the crushed glass stool. And I think I'm gonna have to cut it out the bucket. I don't wanna kind of jiggle it too much because I don't wanna snap one of these sticks out of it. And if anyone's wondering why I used a plastic bucket instead of a silicone mold or something for this, is because I needed this rim to support the sticks so that they went outwards like that. That's the only reason I'm using a bucket. Otherwise, I would have used a silicone mold. Because I know someone will say something. Just need to break this apart. I will say Unibond makes their buckets very well. I'm gonna get some gloves because I'm gonna cut myself. Safety first. Oh, here we go. Obviously some of the glass hasn't set into it, which was on the bottom, but that's okay. Okay, so it kind of looks like this, and I wouldn't say it was it doesn't really look the way I wanted it to. I think this needs to be either wider, or the legs need to be kind of closer together, because it just looks a bit out of proportion. And the top looks quite cool, but you don't really get the glass effect from it. Like, I think the bottom looks way more interesting than the top does. I think if I sanded it down, I could probably get some of this like glass stuff to show through the surface of the bottom of the Jesmonite, but I just don't really have time to sand it. But like, if you look at it, it looks a bit weird, doesn't it? It doesn't look right. It's also very lopsided. I just think there were too many mistakes with that one. Okay, so they were my Jesmonite craft projects, and I definitely think you could learn something from a couple of my mistakes. But let me know which one your favourite Jesmonite craft project was in the comments below. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next week for a brand new video. Bye! Didn't go well.